Okay, Barca fans, before you celebrate, before you start saying, oh, Nico is coming back, Barca back, before you celebrate, before you get excited, just remember the big bellied dude who is making these promises, and remember the last time he made a promise. You see, when someone says something, it depends who is speaking. So if a carpenter tells me about how to build a house, listen, it's a carpenter. Now, he could be a brick carpenter, but at least he's a carpenter. If a professional alcoholic who lives on the street tells me how to build a house, I'll be like, chill. I'll be like, cool, chill, but I'm good. I'm more likely to listen to the carpenter than to the alcoholic. So sometimes it depends. So John Laporta by Nico Williams. Of course, I like him a lot. Today, Barca can financially strive for such a signing. Now, we have to really look at his words very carefully. He didn't say that we can buy him now, we're ready, but we can strive for such a signing. And now everybody online has been like, oh my gosh, we're going to get Nico Williams. Oh my gosh, it's going to happen. It's real. Hold your horses. Should Barca fans be excited? It's like, okay, let me be a serious. Should Barca fans be excited? No. Should they be cautiously optimistic? Yes. Because there is a possibility. There is a possibility, but several things need to happen for it to happen. This isn't impossible. Obviously, we'll get into sort of the details of how La Liga works, but it's not impossible. That's why he said financially strive. But the key thing is you have to remember who is saying this stuff, and I will tell you why it is important and why it is pertinent as to the person who is delivering this message. Let's just really investigate this more. If you were to say one of the shining guys of this Euros, it's been Nico Williams. Put a nuke to my head. Who's been the best player at this Euros? From game one up until now. Nico Williams. Yamal has been great, but in terms of what he's done overall, in terms of what he's been doing minute to minute, I'd say Nico Williams. I think him and Yamal have been up there. Shout out to your boy Goulet. Like, the names that come to me are Nico Williams, Yamal, Goulet, obviously Calafiori before Issy went out, Donnarumma. So yeah, best players of this Euros. Donnarumma, Goulet, Yamal, Nico Williams. I can maybe even throw in Rodri in there as well. I mean, I wouldn't mind throwing Rodri in there as well. Rodri is alright. Maybe you can say Gakpo. Actually, no, not Gakpo. Gakpo's been good, but yeah, those five guys. So Rodri, Donnarumma, Nico Williams, Yamal, Goulet. Those have been the best players. So Nico Williams has been one of the best players at this Euros. So, and these tournaments, it's a great advert for clubs. Because yes, you can look at the UCL, you can look at other competitions, but it's the summer, everybody's excited. There are more eyeballs and there is a greater spotlight on these international competitions than, let's say, in the UCL, specifically in La Liga. And remember, he plays for Athletic Bilbao. When I play Athletic Bilbao in a UCL quarter, UCL semi, UCL final. So this is the best way for Nico Williams to really showcase his talents to the world, specifically for people who don't watch La Liga every week. Because people who do watch La Liga know that this guy is freaking amazing. And he is a baller for Athletic Bilbao. So Barca getting him is huge. It's huge. It's massive. And what makes it even greater is they're both friends. They're both friends, similar-ish in age. Obviously, your boy is a lot more younger. But they're both friends. And the notion of having Nico Williams on the left and Yamal on the right is freaking insane. Then Barca are now really cooking, because what has made Spain so dangerous and why Spain have been the best team at these Euros is mainly down to these two guys. And it's like the beauty of Spain and why Spain have been so good to watch is they're mixing the possession football, obviously led by Rodri and Pedri in the midfield, but also more direct attacking 1v1 iso ball led by Nico Williams and Yamal. So in a world where we are saying football has fallen off, individuality is trash, there are no real individuals, there's no real technique, football quality has fallen down, the matches are not as fun, these are two shining lights. Spain have been, in a Euros that's been really bad. This Euros quality has been really bad. Spain have been light years ahead of everybody. Like there's not been any team that's even come close to how good the Spain team have been. And there are no two attacking players who have even been in the same... No, shout out to Goulet. But there is a sizable gap in quality in terms of what these two have done attacking-wise and the rest of the field at the Euros. So Spain have been clearly the best and it's been led by these two guys. But specifically, this dude is good. This dude is really good. Like, he's really good. And if Barca gets Nico Williams, this is a huge statement because Barca have to respond. Look at what Gula is freaking doing. Now, I get that Hendrik's only pass against Uruguay was at the kickoff. I get that and I understand that. You know, I really, really understand that. But he's still part of the squad and Mbappe is on his way. So Barca have to respond to Mbappe's on his way, Hendrik's on his way, and Goulet just freaking bought at the Euros. So Real have a crew. They've got a crew that can pop off. So you got to respond. But we have to be careful of this dude, bro. We have to be very careful of this dude. So I'm going to get back to this guy and why we have to be careful about who is delivering this message. So the Nico Williams thing, you have to understand. So for guys who don't know, La Liga is not the Premier League. See, Premier League, you can have like income of like £2 and spend 3 billion. So your operating costs doesn't have to do with anything of your spending costs. Those things are mutually exclusive. Because in the Premier League, it's the Wild West. Now they're trying to bring stuff in and the whole 130 stuff. But City have been operating in the sense of we have rich dudes who can literally pull out 3 billion from their pockets, even though your operating costs do not come anywhere near 3 billion. So the money that you're getting from so-called sponsors, not from the sponsors, they're just from some guy who has cash. But in La Liga, no. Everything has to correlate. Everything has to be operational. So the best way to sort of explain it just in a very simple term is, so the spending limits, which includes the wages for players and technical staff, and is calculated by looking at income of clubs in Spain in comparison to their structural costs and the need to repay outstanding debts and aims to ensure the financial stability of the competition. So you can't spend more than your operational and structural costs. Everything has to be operational. So I believe the number now is you can spend like, I think it's like a 50% more than what you've earned. So kind of think that rose from 40% to 50%. So there's a cap. There's a spending cap to ensure the financial stability of the competition. So it's unlike the EPL where it's the wild West. So it's possible. But things have to happen. Debts have to be repaid. The operational costs have to be put in order. And specific deals have to be made, whether it's the TV station, it's other sponsorships. So specific financial operations need to be made so that they can have specific operational structural costs in order to be able to afford your boy Nico Williams. And I believe it's like a 58 million, because I saw the numbers about 57 or 58 million euros, which is a release clause. Remember, you have to have a release clause in La Liga. That is a rule. And I believe his release clause is 57 to 58. So there is a possibility. But such things need to happen. Hence why I said, don't be excited. Be cautiously optimistic. Do not be excited. Be cautiously optimistic. But we've been here before. We've been here before. Before that fateful day, which is arguably one of the craziest days in history of football and of this channel, And I said this, it still stands as our greatest ever emergency hangouts, which was, I think it was about 5 hours. That is our greatest ever emergency hangouts. It was stunning. Prior to that, Laporta promised. He said, Messi staying. I assure you, Messi staying. And Barca fans, they bought into that. They were like, hold on, he's staying. Laporta's for instance, Laporta was like, no, one of Barca's greatest ever players, one of Barca's greatest ever sons, he is not leaving. No, he is staying. 100%. He is staying. And people believed it. And I believed him. Like, when Laporta said that, I was like, there is no way Messi's leaving Barca. No way. Messi, he retires at Barcelona. Two things. He either retires at Barca or the final year of his career, he spends at Rosario. But he's not leaving Barca. We believed him. We believed what Laporta was saying. Laporta said Messi is staying. Messi is staying. We believed it. We believed him. We believed it. Never. Messi leaving. Never. It's not going to happen. No. He's staying. 100%. Laporta can never live this down. He can never live this down. You see, here's the thing. We knew that Barca, that they didn't have the finances to keep Messi. So just be upfront. You see, it's worse. It is worse when you say one thing and another thing happens rather than admitting one thing and that same thing happens. So if Laporta said, there's nothing we can do. We don't have the finances, we don't have the money, and then Messi eventually left, it will hurt. It'll be bad, but it will not be as bad. What made it worse were people had their hopes up. They believed Laporta said, nope, he's staying, he's not going to leave. And then when it happened, it was shocking. That's why it was such a huge shock, which is why it was an emergency anger, because we didn't think this would happen because dude said he's staying. So ever since this moment, nobody has ever believed dude. Nobody has ever believed him. Nobody has ever wanted to really believe him ever since this happened. And for Laporta, it's going to be very hard for anyone to believe you after this. So when you now open your mouth and you say, oh yeah, we can afford him. We can afford him for sure. Why should people believe you? Why should people believe you when they've been burnt before? Like, that's saying, like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me three times. What the hell? So again, Laporta, he's just not someone that is trustworthy. You can't trust. I don't trust him. Would you trust him? So based on the events of what happened with Messi and that broken promise, can Barca fans trust him? So when he says, oh yeah, we can buy Nico Williams, I think if you're a Barca fan, cautiously optimistic. Okay, cool. It's possible, but I'll believe it when I see it. Let's see how things happen. Let's see how things roll. We'll see what happens. But the worst thing to do is to be excited, is to have Nico Williams in a Barca jersey, and it's to now start putting up formations of what Nico Williams will look like in the Barca team. No, you don't want to do that to yourself. Because you're only harming yourself. Because if you do that to yourself, you'll probably see Nico Williams continue at Bilbao or joining your boys Chelsea. So you don't want to do that. But again, if they do get this kid, shout out to Ferran Torres, shout out to Rafinha, shout out to any of those dudes on that team. If they get Nico Williams, this is a huge, especially when you think of Nico Williams under Hansi Flick and Hansi Flick's aggressive attacking style, this would be a huge statement. And I think, because Barca, I said they have to respond to Real Madrid. Real Madrid are coming with Mbappe. They're coming with Goulet. They're coming with perhaps a reinvigorated Vini. They're coming with a Jude Bellingham who's already had that season. They're coming with guys. So the way Real Madrid are gearing up with Mbappe, they're gearing up with Vini, with Rodrigo, with Goulet, with Bellingham, you've got to respond. And even if this isn't a big enough response with all of the kinds of weapons that Real Madrid are coming with, it's something of a statement based on just how good this player is and how well he fits in at Barca. Because for Real Madrid, we still need to see whether does Mbappe fit in, and there will have to be an adaptation. Put it this way, I think that Nico Williams would fit into Barca like a glove. He would easily fit in. For Mbappe, there are questions. But these are all hypotheticals. It all depends on whether that boy Laporta can be able to get those finances in store. Because we all know what Bartomeu, the Perez agents, did. It was an inside job. Let's be real, it was an inside job.